Hi children, we meet again. We have been doing so many lessons on indices and we have finished. Today we are going on to a new topic, that is construction. Now construction is a sure topic for the O-level exam. In every paper you get a sum on construction. Like that there are about 5 or 6 topics, areas and volumes, construction, then trigonometry, statistics, circle theorems, like that 5 or 6 sure sections, simultaneous equations, problems. So the intelligent students, what they do is they make sure of these topics. That is, they go on doing so many sums on this and make these topics thorough, so that when the second paper comes, immediately they can tackle this sum. Then they have to tackle only another 4 sums. And after that they are through with the O-level paper, and they can easily get an A. So it's not difficult to get an A, because you have to only study and make sure of the topics that you will get. Now these topics, now construction is a sure topic, so better for you to follow the lesson from the beginning. So first of all, for construction, what we should do is, we should have a box of instruments, preferably new, so that you will be able to do the construction properly. The pencil must be very sharp and the ruler must be new, so that you'll be able to get the length correctly. Now rulers, what happens is, some children, when they take the ruler, when they are in a stress, they start biting the edges. So pieces are going on from the edge. Then it will be difficult to measure. And you must get a ruler such that there is a 0 at the beginning. Now we use centimeters metric system, so it must start with a 0. 0 to 1, 2, 3, like that it must come. That is the best ruler you can get. So there are several types of rulers like that. So better for you to get a ruler like that, and don't lend your instruments to anyone, because they won't use it properly. You keep it carefully and see that. And also you must get a nice eraser, where it erases properly. Then the compass must be very important, because you have to put the compass, pencil and ruler for the construction. You can't use anything else. So these 3 things you have to keep it very carefully, so that it won't get damaged. Now, so another thing is, now when you say construction means you have to use the ruler and compass and pencil carefully and do the exercise, whatever it is. If it is draw, means you can just draw the one hand, whether it is accurate or not accurate, but construction means it is an accurate thing. First of all, now to come to construction properly, first of all what you do is, you must know how to draw a line. Now drawing a line is okay, it's like this. But if you are constructing a line, of which draw a line xy equal to 5 centimeters, 5.0 centimeters. Then you have to use the ruler very carefully and construct the line. How are we to construct the line? First of all, we draw any line with the ruler, and what we do is, after that we take the compass and we measure 5 centimeters very carefully. Now it must go from the edge here, from the 0 to 5. Keep the compass here and then start from the 0 here. Keep the compass here at the edge at 0 and then go to 5. So you must measure with the compass like that. So after that what you do is, from here you draw arc. Then from here you draw another arc here. Then this measurement is 5 centimeters, so this line is 5 centimeters here. And we call it here, the point here is x and here the point is y. That is how we measure accurately the line 5 centimeters xy. How did we do? First we draw any line. After that, with the compass and the ruler, we measure exactly 5 centimeters starting from 0 line. We must go from the 0 line to 5. Many children make the mistake of taking from 1. No, it must come from 0 to 5. So 0 to 5 is 5 centimeters, and what we do is, from here you draw an arc, and from that place, from this arc, you draw another arc. Then that arc, from that arc to this arc, it is 5 centimeters. That is how we draw the line 5 centimeters. Supposing we want to draw a line 3.5 centimeters. Again we draw another line like this, and then we take from the compass, we measure from 0, 3.5. Now in between each numbers there are 10, we call millimeters, 10 millimeters. So 3.5 means 3 centimeters and 5 millimeters. So in between each 4 and 5 there is a long line, that is the fifth line. So what you do is from 0 to 3 and that middle line you take. So it will be 3.5 centimeters. So again you draw a line like this and you draw a line like this. We call this line AB 3.5 centimeters. So that is how children we draw the line. So to draw the line also, it is not just a case of drawing line. This arc should be there. Okay. Okay, now we learned how to draw a line. Now we'll do a first construction 1. Now the question is to draw the perpendicular bisector of a line. Now supposing we have a line, we'll say AB, this line AB. Now we have to draw the perpendicular bisector of this line. Perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular means it is 90 degrees. Now supposing we have a line here, we draw a line perpendicular to this, so this should be 90 degrees here. That is perpendicular. So it should do two things. First of all, it should bisect the line, and secondly, it should be perpendicular. So how to draw the perpendicular bisector of AB? What we do is we take the compass. Always the compass we take. That's the thing that is very, very essential. We take compass, and from this end take the middle point here, and you draw an arc here, and same arc here, and same with the same size. From B we draw an arc like that, an arc like that. So now where these two arcs are cutting, it is the line. That's a perpendicular bisector line. Perpendicular bisector. So perpendicular. Now can you see, when you look at the diagram itself, you can see the way do it roughly. You can see that this is 90 degrees, and if you measure this length and this length, this is equal. Bisecting. Bisecting means dividing into two equal parts. So we call this place O. This point O. AO equals OB. So that's the perpendicular. Now to draw the perpendicular, this is the method. What we do is we start from A. You draw one arc here, same arc here. And with the same length without changing, you draw the same thing from B, draw one arc here, and after that where they cut, you draw the line. Now this can be, though it is easy, many children forget it soon. So what you should do is, you go on practicing like this. Now you draw a line like this in a different way. Now draw the perpendicular bisector to this line. So what you do is, from here draw an arc here, same arc here, then join. So that's the perpendicular bisector for this line. So draw another line in a different way, like this. So PQ. So draw the perpendicular. So an arc here, arc and arc. So perpendicular. Like that you must be able to draw the perpendicular in so many different ways. Then only you'll be able to remember the perpendicular bisector. Okay, we'll go to another exercise. This is the second construction that we are doing, children. So first construction was drawing the perpendicular bisector to a given line. Now the second construction that we'll do is to bisect an angle. Now we have an angle here. Now we have bisect. Bisect means, now as we studied before, bisect means dividing into two equal parts. Now perpendicular bisector means perpendicular, and bisector means dividing that line into two equal parts. Same way, bisecting an angle means dividing the angle into two equal parts. This is how we do. Again, we use only the ruler and the compass. So what we do is, from here, with the middle point, keep the middle point here, draw any arc like this. And from these two points, you draw another two arcs like this with the same length. From here one arc, here one arc. Then you join this. When you join that, that will be the bisector of this angle. Now if you keep the protractor and measure these angles, you will see that those two angles are equal. So this is the method how to draw a perpendicular bisector, to draw the bisector of an angle. It is very easy. Only thing is, you can also quickly forget. Like that you must you have to now go on drawing different types of angle. Draw an obtuse angle, and then draw a line like this. From here, draw arc like that, and from here and here, draw two arcs, and then join that. So there is a bisector of this angle. Now draw an angle in a different way, which is something like right angle. The right angle also be same method. From here and you draw an arc from here, and then from here and here two arcs, and then you join that. So draw in all different methods where you try to, because it won't come exactly like this. It will be coming in different ways. Then, but method is the same. From this vertex point, you draw an arc, and then from where those two arcs cut the lines, you have to draw two arcs like this, equal length, and then join that. So this is the method to bisect an angle. So now we have studied two constructions. What is the first construction? It is the perpendicular bisector of a line. Second construction is bisecting an angle. The third construction, what we are going to do is to draw a perpendicular. This is the sign for perpendicular. That you put an inverted T and an R there. How to? So in mathematics, we have to use lots of shortened forms. That's in mathematics. It's a rule. So now we don't write EQUAL by EQUAL, but we say we write equal like this. Then parallel lines, we write two parallel lines like that. Angle, we do like that. So like that, all shortened forms. So in this particular question, I have used the shortened form perpendicular to this line here, this sign here, that inverted T and an R. Draw perpendicular to a line from a point outside the line. Now, perpendicular means it must be 90 degrees. Now, for example, if you draw a line here, and if you want to draw a perpendicular at this point, the perpendicular will have to be like this. It can't be like this or like that. It must be 90 degrees like this. That's the perpendicular. So, how to draw the perpendicular to a given line? This is a given line. Now, you have to draw the perpendicular from this point here. So, that is the method for that. Then the perpendicular must come like this. So, how to draw that? What you do is we take this point here, this compass, and keep the middle point on this point, and then on this point, and then you draw an arc like this. From this point you draw an arc, then you will be getting like this. So now after you draw this arc, what we do is from these 2 points we draw another 2 arcs like this. What did you do from the beginning? What we did was, the question is to draw a perpendicular to a line from a point outside the line. Now this is a line, this is a point outside. Now we have to draw a line perpendicular from this point to this line. So what you do is, first of all, keep the middle point. Keep the middle point here and draw an arc like this. After you draw the arc, from these 2 points, we draw 2 arcs like that, and then we join this. Now when we join that, you will notice that this line is perpendicular. So again I'll repeat, you have to draw the perpendicular, we'll say we call this point X. From this point X, we have to draw perpendicular to this line. So what we do is, from this point X, always keep the middle point here. From this point X, keep the middle point like this, and then draw the arc. After we draw in the arc, from these 2 points, we draw another 2 arcs, and we join that. So you will get the perpendicular. So we have drawn from X, we have drawn the perpendicular to this line. Like that you have to go on practicing. Now suppose this is another line, and you got a line here, point here, Y. You draw perpendicular from Y to this line. So what you should do is, from Y, keep the middle point Y here, get a point here, and then draw an arc. And from these 2 points where it is cut in the line, draw another 2 arcs like this, and then you join that. So this line is perpendicular to this line. Like that you must go on drawing from different positions, so that you will get enough practice like this. Now you have to draw the perpendicular to this line from this point here. So keep the middle point here and draw an arc. And after that, from these 2 points, draw 2 arcs like that, then join this. So automatically this becomes a perpendicular. So like that, we must go on practicing so that you'll be getting enough thorough with the topic. So now we have done 3 constructions, that is perpendicular bisector of a line, then to how to bisect a line, and how to draw perpendicular to a line from a point outside. I hope you practice this line, these 3 exercises and become thorough with it. I hope you like the lesson. If you like the lesson, please subscribe.